with the smoked salmon, all right? The smoked salmon, this one here.
Yes.
If anybody cannot have salmon, you have the cheese. It works good too. Huh? But salmon is always better. So let's try the salmon. Everybody has the salmon? Very good. After that we have the salmon. We're going to try the wine again. Lighter. How is it now?
Better.
Much smoother than before, right? Still long finish, still pleasant, but smoother than before, right? You all agree?
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see over here, another Chardonnay, made it with 100% of Chardonnay grapes, and completely different from the other one. The first one required light food. The second one required something spicy, something smoky, something that to get to observe the flavors of the wine during the fermentation. In fact, this wine doesn't went to a fermentation; it went to a maceration. All right, and I'm going to explain this later on with the other wines. I'm going to explain you the difference between fermentation and maceration. How do you like this wine? Very good, isn't it? This is the truth Chardonnay from United States, I can tell you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the first... Hello? It looked like that somebody's on the other side already. All right, let me just explain to you. So the first wine, it comes from a region in France, which is the vines that are growing in a chalky soil and limestone. That means that the vines, in order when they start to grow the grapes, they have to dip the roots very deep in order to get the humidity to support the grapes, to grow the grapes. The winemaker is not the owner of the vineyards. He buys the grapes from the vineyards around. But the winemaker does one thing that not all the winery is doing. He doesn't sell the overall production of the Chardonnay. He keeps always 40%. In order that next year, for example, if the wine is strong, he has a light backup. Or if the wine is light, he has a strong backup. Whoever likes the Pouilly Fussé likes the Pouilly Fussé all the time. Because the flavor that we taste today here for the Pouilly Fussé, it was the same one 10 years ago. And it will be the same one in 10 years' time. Because the winemaker make sure that the wine has always the same taste. So whoever likes the Pouilly Fussé likes the Pouilly Fussé all the time. And this is one of the reasons that the Pouilly Fussé is the must-sell Chardonnay in the world. Because whoever likes the Chardonnay all the time. United States, Cuvazon. Cuvazon, they have the best. It's a Carneros region, and they have, beside the good soil, which is a volcanic soil, they have something really amazing. The fog is from the Pacific Ocean during the night. The strong sunshine during the morning, this will boost the grapes and ripen the grapes very, very quickly. In fact, they don't need to wait until late September, as we do in Europe, to do the harvest. The harvest normally is done here around the middle of August. Middle of August, they can start to collect the grapes. And this is one of the must, let's say, good Chardonnays in United States. Just to give you an idea, this is a $250 million winery. Yes, and this was a gift given from the parents to the daughter on their on her wedding. I supposed to marry her. It's true, but I arrived late on the church. She married somebody else, you know. Yes. This is a very, very healthy family that they live in United States, but they are originally from Switzerland. Did you heard about Schmidt and Heinz family? Doesn't mean nothing to you, right? Or to some of you. Did you heard about Swatch, Rolex, Montblanc, all this Swiss Army, all the brands from Switzerland? this is the owner of that, okay? So it's a very, very wealthy family in that they live in United States. Well, part of it, but they are from Switzerland. Now I'm going to give a topic only to the gentlemen, all right? Gentlemen, if you pretend to have a nice romantic evening, I will suggest you to choose the Couvaison. Because Couvaison has 14.5 and this will take you directly there. All right?
Thank you, Maitre D. Well, I didn't want to believe the Maitre D at the beginning, but he told me that as soon as we sign this wine tasting, we're going to lose you. And you know why? Because you started to drink. All right, just to avoid that, let me tell you a quick story. Actually, it's a kind of true story which is happening with us in Europe. It's a tradition. When we are reaching the age of 18, boys, we receive a shotgun from our parents. A shotgun which one of a good friend of mine received it as well when he reached this age of 18, but he don't really like it, so he asked his daddy, "Daddy, can I exchange this shotgun to a Rolex?" Well, the father got upset. He said, "No way, you have to keep the gun, and you will see later on in your life why is it good for." So time went by, the gentleman joined the company, still sailing with us at the moment, and one day he went home for vacation, had a beautiful lunch with his family, talking with the parents, and suddenly his father just, see a beautiful watch on his right wrist. So he got curious and asked him, "Tell me, my son, what's the story of this watch?" Well, the son pulled his head down and said, "Daddy, I couldn't keep my promise those times, and I did exchange that shotgun to a Rolex." Well, his father got upset on him, started to blame on him, telling him that he's foolish, he doesn't know, what he did, big mistake, and so on and whatsoever. Then the son got very curious and he said, "My daddy, tell me, what's the big deal out of this? What's the big story of that?" And the father said, "My son, when you go home and you find your wife with someone in a bed, what are you going to say? Time is up?" Well,
What time is it?
well, I have no idea, so we better keep quiet then. Okay, well, my turn is to turn to be from white to red, and I will start with the first red wine, which is the Murietta Spur. Came from California as well, from Livermore Valley, close to San Francisco region. This wine, as the Maitre said before, it's a Meritage wine, which based on different laws than the other wines in the United States. The laws are very simple. The owner, the one who creates a wine like this, has to use at least 4 types of grapes. He has to use only grapes which one they made on the vineyard and in American soil. He has to have at least 25,000 bottles sales for a year from this wine. And he has to keep the wine within a country if it's possible. So those rules are very strict and very low. Those grapes are what they are using for this wine are based on Cabernet Sauvignon, which is 54% of the wine. Then you are using Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, Petit Shiraz, and Malbec as well for a little percentage. And that creates a nice combination for the wine. The wine is fermented in stainless steel tanks. Every day at least twice they pressure the grape through to get the juice out and a little bit lower the tannin percentage of it to create a more balanced one. And then they are aging the wine in 2 years in different kind of oak barrels, French one, American one, even Hungarian one, for 2 years time. And then they do the meritage, the blendage of the wine, and they bottle it. The wine story, it takes you back for the 1835 when is a French gentleman, Louis Mel. He was the one who first bought the vineyard and created French type of wines on the Bordeaux style way and created the first meritages. He was the one, for example, who did in America first time the Chateau Margaux, which was all well known and it's a very famous wine. Then back to the 90s, the Venta family purchased the vineyard, and along with Sergio Travaso, who's a famous winemaker from the region, they created the Murietta well, and then they created the Murietta Spurs, which one we're going to taste now. And I believe Jose will have a few words for it, and he's going to tell you more about it. Thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you, Werner. Well, let's evaluate the wine. Let's really raise the glass, please. And color-wise, what? Dark red. Well, we call this one maybe the ruby red. Ruby red. But let me ask you a question. Ladies, hello? Ladies, do you know the color of the rubies? Yes, that's very nice. Gentlemen, do you know the price of the rubies?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yes. All right. So let's raise the glass. And color-wise, brilliant. No sediments. Is nothing wrong if you find any sediments on the red wines. If there are non-filtered, the wine still in aging process, all right? So it's very, very common to find sediments on the red wines, the ones that they are non-filtered, all right? So let's swirl the glass, please. And let's see the legs of the wine. All right, while you have the glass, you see on top the rim a light, right? It looks like water. Okay, this is the alcohol contents, all right? And the alcohol contents, while you swirl the glass, the alcohol, it comes around the glass, and while you smell just the results of the fermentation. You don't smell any alcohol, because the alcohol is on side of the glass. All right, what can we perceive on this wine? Any berries? Dark fruit? Cherries? Cherries. Plum? Somebody said that? No? Oh, blackberries, yes. There are big intents on these wines. All right, especially because there are a big percentage of the Shiraz on that, you know. All right, let's sip the wine, please. Let the wine linger in your mouth for a little while, and then you swallow. How is it? Nice, isn't it? Nice. What about the aftertaste? Long. Yes. Very good. Okay. For this wine, we're gonna match this wine with prosciutto, with a breadstick. Yes. The breadstick with the Parma ham. And after that you have the prosciutto. We're going to sip the wine again. And how is it? Lighter. Well, still long finish, but much more pleasant, right? Smoother. Yes? You all agree? No? You think that it's more... Well, whatever one person perceives doesn't mean that everybody has to perceive the same thing. For example, if you're going to give me white wine, I will tell you right away that it's disgusting, it's no good. I don't like it. But if you give me a glass of Merlot, I will be your friend forever. Even without tasting. Alright. So everybody has the wine? How is it? How do you like it? It's nice? Let's say this is a Meritage wine. It's not as popular as the other brands of wine. And in fact, a few cruises ago, I have a lady here on the wine tasting, and I mentioned that the Meritages, they are not as popular as all the other wines. And she said, well, it's not that they are not popular, they are more expensive than the other wines. In fact, the Meritage wines, the average of the Meritage wines goes up to $40, $50 a bottle. So that's why I mean a little bit more expensive than the other wines. All right, and now I'm gonna. Did you find out? Did you find yourself sometimes in the wine shops reading the wine labels? I do that all the time. Yes, I'm very